Hi there, it's Jennifer. Today I'm going to create a handful of playful cards for you, including some sparkle coloring and a fun surprise spinner on the inside of the card. Now, I wanted to mention that this video is part of the 30-day coloring challenge that my friend Kathy Racoosin has going on over at thedailymarker.com. We're doing a hop to celebrate her challenge today. I highly encourage you checking it out. There are a lot of fun things in store. I also want to apologize in advance because this video just didn't come together easy for me. I struggled with it. I don't know if that ever happens with you with creating, so please be patient with me. Okay, so I made a bunch of cards in this video. They're all pretty simple on the outside, but when you open them up, they have this surprise spinning element on the inside. So this little cheerleading panda spins around. So I kept the outside simple with some sparkle coloring, but it's that inside element that I need to get ready. So for the inside, I have this hippo, but I want him stamped on the other side too. In order to do that, I need the same hippo, but the mirror opposite. And most stamp sets don't offer those two images, those mirror opposites. So I'm going to show you how I create those today. The stamp set that I'm going to be using for this hippo example is a new one from Clearly Besotted. I think this is absolutely adorable, these dancing hippos. You can see there are a bunch of hippos there, but not all of them are mirror images of themselves. So I need to create the mirror image using a mirror stamping technique. I did this in a video recently, which I'll link to so you can learn more about it. I am using the Misty stamping tool because it's very helpful with mirror stamping. But I do also show in that other video how to use other stamping tools besides the Misty. Now the Misty has that black foam. I'm going to take that out for now. And I just have a piece of scrap acetate here, just a piece of clear packaging. I'm going to take the hippos that I want to get the mirror image of, and I'm going to place them right down onto that acetate with the stamping side facing up towards me. So now these images are just stuck to that piece of acetate. Now I need a solid, large, clear image. I'm using this large block that you see here from this Paper Smooches Mirror Blocks stamp set. And I am going to lay this down on top of my little hippos. So I'm just laying it down on there. And I'm going to close the door of my Misty stamping tool on it and transfer that big block onto the door of my Misty. So now I have the hippo stamps on the left on that piece of acetate and the block over on the right. Okay, so now it's time to do some stamping. I am actually going to ink up these little hippo stamps with VersaFine black pigment ink. You could use any ink for this. And I'm going to push that acetate right to the bottom corner and close the Misty. And this kisses that black ink over to that solid block image that you see there on the right. I'm going to do this again to get more ink over onto that block image. So I'm just going to kiss them together and then open it up. Now I'm going to take that acetate piece out, put my black foam back in, a piece of white cardstock, and now I'm going to stamp this down and check it out. I have the hippos now on my white cardstock, and it's the mirror image of how they originally are in the package. By the way, if those images weren't dark enough for you, you could repeat the process and stamp on top again. Okay, since this is a pigment ink, I decided to go ahead and put some clear embossing powder on it, and I'm going to heat set that so I have some nice raised heat embossed images. And look how nicely VersaFine cleans off the stamp. That's one of the reasons I like that ink. Okay, so now that we have our mirror stamped images, let's just do the regular stamped images. So I'm taking the same hippos, stamping them, and clear heat embossing them. So look there, the top left two images are the mirror opposite of each other. Now, there are many ways to do mirror stamping. I will link to some videos. This just happens to be my favorite way. Keep in mind, though, if you don't want to do mirror stamping, there are many stamp images out there that are symmetrical. That way you can stamp them twice, cut them out, and glue them back to back, and they line up nicely. Or you could stamp an image on a circle die cut, do that twice, and glue those back to back for the technique we're doing today. So let me show you a few more examples. Here I have the You're Perfect stamp set from Clearly Besotted. I thought this little kitty on the bottom would be fun to have spin inside of a card. Here's another new stamp set from Clearly Besotted. I love the cat and the dog together, but I thought the shark and the fish together would be fun to spin on the inside of a card. So I'm going to use that image too. I have these images, and I'm just going to do that same mirror stamping technique that I showed you before. After doing that technique, I have those two mirror images. Now I can stamp the originals also. So again, when I color these in and cut them out, they'll be able to glue back to each other to create that spinner element inside of the card. Okay, so I wanted to show you some of the other stamping that I did. Here's the Some Birdie Loves You stamp set from Clearly Besotted. I did the mirror stamping with this flying bird to put on the inside of the card. Here's another new Clearly Besotted stamp set. This has the most adorable cheerleading pandas. I think they're so cute. And the nice thing about this one is check out that panda there. This one is symmetrical. So you can stamp it twice, cut it out, and glue it back to back, and they line up nicely. So it's symmetrical down the center. So I'm just going to stamp a bunch of these that I can color and use as those spinning elements inside of the card. So if you don't want to mess with that mirror stamping technique, just look for images like this that are symmetrical, and they work perfectly. Another image that is symmetrical is this cute little turtle from another Clearly Besotted stamp set. Now you'll notice I'm doing a ton of stamping here on some Nina White cardstock. The reason I'm doing all of this stamping is I'm going to take this with me on the go. This is something that my friend Kathy inspired me to do. I do a bunch of stamping, put it in a little pouch along with some markers, and I take it with me to baseball practices, while I'm waiting in line in the carpool. Just good to have these on hand. I have them ready to go all the time, so whenever I'm headed out the door, I can grab them. This is another little guy that is symmetrical, so I can just do a spinner card with them without the mirror stamping technique. And I'm going to create a bunch of cards with this frog because I think he's absolutely adorable. So all of these elements that you see me stamping here are going to go in the inside of my cards for the spinner elements. Here you can see I have a bunch of them ready. These are all with Clearly Besotted stamp sets, by the way, because I think they're all happy, cute images that are perfect for this playful card design. I also did cut a bunch of white cardstock down to 3 inches wide by 4.5 inches tall, and I stamped a simple scene and sentiment on those. These will be for the outside of the card, and they kind of coordinate with whatever spinner element I have planned for the inside. So usually I plan cards from the outside in. This time I'm planning them from the inside out. So I created a bunch of card fronts like this that match those spinner elements, and I took these along with all of those spinner elements and I colored these on the go. Actually, I colored these at my mom's house on the 4th of July because we were just sitting around watching some shows on TV, and I thought this was perfect. Okay, so here they all are colored. I colored all these in with Spectrum Noir Shimmer Pens. I'll link to a video with more information about those too. And then I did cut these all out by hand. If you have coordinating dies, that would save you a lot of time. However, I love to cut things out by hand. I also colored all the fronts of the little cards too. So I did this all on the go, and now they're ready to put together into cards. The Spectrum Noir Shimmer Pens are really fun. They have like a paintbrush tip, and they put out color with shimmer in it. So I'm going to do some coloring real quickly here to show you how I use those. But keep in mind, you could use any markers and then just go over it with the clear shimmer to get that shimmer look. But I wanted to show you how I use those markers today since I used them in a video recently and I wanted to show more. I'm going to quickly show you how I did the coloring on all of these, but use the hippo as an example. I wanted a medium color pink, but I only had a dark pink, this bright pink garnet color, and a super light pink, which is the rose quartz. Here's the light pink here. The way to get a middle ground color is to scribble the darker color on an acrylic block and then pick it up with the tip of the lighter marker. So this allows you to kind of blend between a darker and lighter color or get a color in between. So again, these are the Spectrum Noir Shimmer Pens or Sparkle Pens. So they remind me a lot of the Wink of Stella Shimmer Pens, but they move a little bit more when you mix them than the Wink of Stella, and there's a little bit more shimmer in them. I decided to use the colored Spectrum Noir Sparkle Pens with this technique today, but again, you could color with regular markers and then go over it with the clear shimmer pen if you wanted to. Here I took some silver sparkle pen and put it on my acrylic block, and I'm dipping the tip of the clear into it. And this allows me to get a lighter silver color for the hippo. So this is a great way to get a softer color too. If you only have a darker color, just use the clear pen with the little bit of that darker color on it, and you can get a middle color. So after I colored my hippos, I went ahead and cut out the two individual hippos. These are the mirror image little hippos that we're going to create the spinner element on the inside. So all the things you saw me before, I did all that coloring and I cut them all out. Okay, now if you want to get like a soft color or cloud of color behind one of the images, this is what I do. I took the light blue Moonstone Spectrum Noir Sparkle Pen, scribbled it onto an acrylic block, and I'm picking up a little bit of that color with the clear sparkle pen. And you can see I'm putting most of the concentrated color towards the hippo, and I'm working the color out to kind of fade out. So this gives that nice little cloud around the hippo image. And it all has that beautiful sparkle in it. Now, if you really want this color to move on the paper, you would want to use watercolor paper instead. I used regular white cardstock today. So I colored all of my card fronts with the little sentiments on it, and I colored all the little spinning images for the inside, and I cut those out. Now it's time to do that spinner element on the inside of the card, and you would be amazed how easy this is to do. I've done a variation of this in past videos. So I have a top folding 3.5 by 5 inch card that is the perfect size for those panels that we've created. I'm going to use a craft knife to poke a hole through both layers right in the center. Doesn't have to be perfect, but center seems to work best. Now you need some maybe fishing twine or dental floss or a thin string. I'm using a silver string today. It's best to use clear so you don't see it, but I didn't have any on hand, so I'm just using a silver string instead. And I'm feeding the string through the two holes in my card, through the front of the card and through the back of the card. So now we have string kind of suspended on the inside of the card. So once you have the string coming out both sides, we need to tape them into place. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of open my card as much as I want it to open. I don't want it to open completely, about 90-degree angle there. So I'm going to pull it open and see how that's open with the string suspended. I'm going to hold the two ends on the outside so it doesn't loosen. I'm going to put a piece of double-sided tape to hold that end down, and another piece of double-sided tape on the back to hold the other end down. I can cut the excess string away, and now check it out. When I open it up, you have that string that's suspended. Now before I add the spinning element on the inside, let's cover up the outside. So I have my stamped panel that I've put some adhesive on the back of, and I'm going to glue that right over the front. So I'm hiding the string on the front of the card, and I'm going to do the same on the back, but just with a regular piece of white cardstock. You can do your hand stamped by Jennifer image on here and have that ready to go also. So that covers up the front and the back where the string comes out. So now it's time to do the little spinning element on the inside. I have my two little pandas cut out. Remember, these are mirror images of each other. So I just colored them and cut them out, and I'm going to glue them back to back with the string in between. So I'm putting adhesive on the back side of both of these. I'm going to put one onto the string, and I'll put the other on the other side of the string. So I'm making sure that I'm really sandwiching that string in between the two images. This will make sure that it stays put, and when you open your card, that little image will pop up and spin on the inside. So it's just a fun way to add a surprise to the inside of the card. What I like to do is kind of wind it up a little bit, then close the card, stick it in the envelope, and then when the person gets it and opens the card from the envelope, watch, it spins around in the inside. So it's just something fun to add to the inside of a card, and you can see it's very easy to do. Okay, so I'm going to do it one more time, this time with the little shark and fish. So here I poked a hole through the center of my 3.5 by 5 inch card, pulling the string right through onto the front and the back of the card. I'm going to put a little piece of tape on the front of the card to hold that piece of string down. I'm going to open it up partially and then tape the other end to the back side of the card. You can see that suspended string. Now I'm going to glue the colored front panel that I created on this. All of these stamps, again, are from Clearly Besotted. And then I have my two mirror images that I did here, and I'm going to glue one to the front of the string and then glue the other to the back of that, again sandwiching the string between. My kids really get a kick out of cards like this, but I've given them to adults too, and they always seem to be a big hit. So let's take a closer look at all the cards that I made today using this technique. Here is one with a fun little alien on the inside. Again, all of these images are from Clearly Besotted. The next one is the bird. Now this little bird is adorable, and check it out. When he opens up, look, it looks like he's flying around. I just think that's so much fun. Remember, all of these have that crazy shimmer on it from those Spectrum Noir Shimmer Pens. It's just beautiful how it catches the light. So we had the kitty spinning around on the inside. Here we have the shark and the fish. Here's the frog example, and this one says "You make me" on the outside, and on the inside it says "Hoppy." And remember, if you kind of go ahead and crank it up by spinning it around a few times and then closing the card quick and put it in the envelope, when they go to open it, it'll spin even more. Here is the turtle example. That little turtle spins around great. I like the cheerleading pandas so much that I actually made 2 cards with those, and both have the spinning pandas inside. And then here is probably my favorite, the hippo that's dancing. And you can see the little dancing hippo on the inside, and he's perfect for that spinning technique. So there you go, lots of playful cards. Sorry, this was kind of not the best video. I apologize, but I really wanted to show you how much fun it is to take coloring on the go, add some shimmer, and do a surprise element on the inside. You can keep the rest of the card very simple that way. So all the supplies I used are linked in my YouTube description below. Be sure to go over to my blog by clicking here on the top left. I'll have more information there, including information about Kathy Racoosin's Color Challenge. In the middle are 3 other videos that probably would be helpful for you. The first one shows Spectrum Noir Shimmer Pens used in a different way. In the middle, I have another video on mirror stamping, and the last one is another card design that's perfect for creating kids cards. Thanks for watching and sticking with me, and I hope to see you again soon.